This is a real story. It happened in November 2012 in the small coastal town of Costa Azul, Mexico. From this very shore, a Salvadoran fisherman named Salvador Alvarenga set out on what was supposed to be a simple two-day fishing trip. What followed became one of the most astonishing survival stories ever recorded, 438 days lost at sea. What you are about to hear is a journey of desperation, resilience, and the unbreakable human spirit. Was an experienced fisherman, tough and used to the unpredictable moods of the ocean. That day he was joined by a young and inexperienced crewman, Ezequiel. They boarded a small fiberglass boat, only 7 meters long, with no cabin and minimal equipment. The plan was to fish for sharks and return within 48 hours. The ocean looked calm, the sky clear, but the sea, as always, hides its fury until it's too late. Within hours of leaving the shore, the weather turned violent. Dark clouds rolled in, waves rose higher and higher, and the boat was thrown around like a toy. For 5 relentless days, and as Ezequiel battled the storm, the engine broke down, the radio was destroyed, and almost all their supplies were swept overboard. When the storm finally calmed, they were left drifting with no motor, no navigation, and no way to call for help. From that moment on, every day was a test of survival. Improvised hooks and lines to catch fish. Sometimes he caught birds with his bare hands, and when luck allowed, even turtles. They collected rainwater whenever the sky offered mercy. In desperate moments, they drank turtle blood to stay alive. They ate raw fish, though it often made them sick. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. Survival became a grim routine. The Pacific Ocean is endless. Surrounded by water, with no land in sight, the silence was overwhelming. There were no clocks, no calendars, nothing to mark time. The scorching sun burned their skin by day, and the cold winds froze them at night. Sometimes, closed his eyes and imagined the taste of a tortilla or the sound of his family's laughter. Dreams became his only escape from despair. After 4 long months, Ezequiel began to weaken. He refused to eat raw fish and his body slowly shut down, despite efforts to keep him alive. The young man eventually died in one of the most heartbreaking moments of his life. Had to release the body of his only companion into the sea. From that day on, he was truly alone for more than a year. Drifted across the vast Pacific. He survived storms, shark encounters, hunger, thirst, and the crushing loneliness. At times, he spoke to the sea. At times, he spoke to God. The ocean tested him every single day, but his stubborn will to live kept him alive. On January 30th, 2014, after 438 days lost at sea, saw something that looked like a dream, land. His boat had drifted nearly 7,000 miles, all the way to the Marshall Islands. Barely alive, weak and exhausted, he staggered onto the beach, collapsing in front of stunned islanders who had no idea what they were witnessing. Against all odds, had survived the impossible. The world was shocked by his survival. Some doubted his story, but experts confirmed it was possible. He had lost his partner, his health, and all sense of time, but he had not lost his life. His journey was later published in books and documentaries, serving as proof of how far the human will to survive can go. The story of Salvador Alvarenga is not just about survival. It is about endurance, courage, and the fragile line between life and death on the open sea. When you hear the sound of waves, remember, for those waves were both his prison and his salvation.